What is poppin', boys? Back at it again with another video. Duenkel, how we doing?
Burbach, I'm doing great, man. Happy to be back on the weekly Burbach built with you, man. Really hyped about it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, well, let's jump right into it. We're going to start off talking about mac and cheese, baby. Mac Jones. What you think he's doing this year? I mean, how you think the Patriots are going to finish?
Well, Burbach, me and Jake did do some playoff predictions. That video will be dropping right after we're done recording here. And I had the Patriots as one of my wild card teams in the AFC. I think they'll go around 10-7, 11-6. I think they'll be a really solid football team this year. I think obviously I was a little surprised to see that they went with Mac Jones so early. I was surprised Bill Belichick made that move, but at the same time, if anyone knows when a guy's ready to start and play, it's probably Bill Belichick, probably one of the greatest coaches, if not the greatest coach in NFL history. So really hyped up to see what Mac can do. Can't wait to see him in the Patriots offense. Obviously, they got a lot of talent around him. Really good offensive line: Hunter Henry, Jonnu Smith, Nelson Aguilar. I mean, the list goes on and on with the amount of weapons they brought in this year. Also, Damian Harris, I believe, is their running back, and then James White is their running back number 2. So I think Mac Jones is set up for success, especially with a great defense and Coach Belichick. Burbach, how are you feeling about it, though? This is your football team, man. How are you feeling about Mac Jones?
I really like it, man. I heard some things that Mac Jones was teaching Cam the playbook already. So,
yeah.
I mean, start him. Let's play him. The offense is going to be like, I don't know, I feel like a lesser version of if Brady was running the offense. But, I mean, what are you going to do, right? James White, I think could be a really, really good player for him because I feel like a lot of checkdowns are going to end up going to him in the passing game because, I mean, the receivers really aren't those dudes. Like, I mean, Jonnu Smith's pretty good. Hunter Henry's pretty good. But the receivers, I feel like they're NFL average receivers. So, I mean, and I love Damian Harris too. The defense is going to be top 10 this year. So, I mean, hey, we'll see what happens. I'm excited to see what Max got to show this weekend against the Dolphins.
Burbach, do you think your boys are a playoff team this year?
Yeah, but a wild card playoff team.
Okay. All right, so you thinking they'll be around 10-7, 11-6, like I was saying?
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think they'll have to be that good to make the wild card, but yeah.
Okay. Burbach, what's the next rookie quarterback you would like to talk about?
You want to get into Justin Fields?
Sure, we can talk a little Justin Fields.
Hey, Justin Fields is a baller. They should start him right now. Start him right now. Throw him into the fire. We'll see what happens. A-Rob's going to have a dog at quarterback. It'll be exciting. Yeah, he's like I was saying he plays very similar to Deshaun Watson, in my opinion. Like, kind of like make something happen out of nothing, can still put the ball where it needs to be. I think, and he also likes to lower his shoulders. So, I mean, hey, we'll see what happens.
Oh, Burbach, man. This one just I'm a huge Justin Fields fan, as everyone knows by now. Also, the Bears are in my division, which my Green Bay Packers are in that NFC North. The Bears are in there with us as well. I think it'll be really interesting to see how long Dalton starts, because I don't think it's going to be very long. I was talking to a couple of people yesterday.
2 weeks, 2, maybe 3.
I'm saying 3 to 4, something like that. I think they maybe give him the first month of the year to just kind of sit behind Dalton and learn. But at the same time, I think it really depends how the Bears start. If they start, 3-1, maybe you see Dalton play a little more. But if they start like 2-2, 1-3, maybe even 0-4, then I think you're going to start to see the fans call for Justin Fields, and I think you're going to see him by week 4 or 5.
Yeah, I think because Nagy's job's on the line. Same with Ryan Pace. They're gonna say screw it, throw him in there. Nagy's got the play calling again this year, so I mean he's really on the hot seat.
He is. That seat is very warm for Matt Nagy. And I think it'll be interesting because Justin Fields, he's really developed as a passer. Every year he's played kind of football at the college level. You saw him make that jump from the first year with the Buckeyes to the second. He was way better as a passer, as a pure thrower. And then obviously you have that athleticism, that athletic ability where he can make plays with his legs. So I think that's going to be big time. And it'll be interesting to see when we see Fields. Obviously I would hope to get through the first Packer game so I don't have to worry about, my boy Justin Fields against us. That way, Andy Dalton. I don't care about Andy Dalton, but Justin Fields is my guy, Burbach. You know this.
Why wouldn't you want to see him play?
Because, bro, Burbach, I'm a Packers fan, man. I'm voting against the Bears.
Hey, I mean, Justin Fields is that dude.
Oh, I know he's that dude.
From the Packers.
Burbach, I know Justin Fields is that dude, bro. I saw it for 2 years at the Ohio State University. Come on, man.
Hey, all right, let's move on. You want to talk about T-Law?
Sure, let's talk some T-Law.
You want to go first?
Sure, I'll talk. So, Trevor Lawerence, man, I think it'll be an interesting year for him. You talk about him with Urban Meyer. This is kind of their first year together. I think losing Travis Etienne is kind of a bigger deal than a lot of people are talking about because Etienne had a lot of roles at Clemson. I think you were seeing that kind of develop in Jacksonville as practice was going on. He was playing some slot receiver. He was catching routes at the backfield, all that. So I think Trevor Lawerence is going to miss Travis Etienne a little bit, but at the same time, you still got James Robinson. You got Marvin Jones. You got DJ Chark there as well. So, I mean, he's got some weapons. The big thing for me is just how good Jacksonville is going to be because I think they're a couple years away from being really good. But we'll see how T-Law can elevate them maybe into like a 5 or 6 win team this year. I think they're closer to
that's the max.
I think they're closer to like a 3 or 4 win team. Like I could see them winning week 1 against the Texans for sure. But I mean, I don't know how many games they're actually going to win this season, Burbach.
I agree with that. I feel like 4 is like the number that I have. T-Law, you can't really, I don't know. I think he'll be very good for very long. And I don't think this team is it. I mean, he has Marvin Jones, DJ Chark, and Laviska Shenault. J-Rob's that dude. J-Rob is that dude. But, I mean, the rest around him, you don't really know. That defense, you don't really know. Like you said, first-year head coach. I feel like a lot depends on how Urban Meyer is because if Urban Meyer's not a good NFL coach like he was in college with recruiting and teaching younger guys, I think they won't be good until they get the next coach if Urban Meyer isn't, what we expect him to be. But I think at max they're like a 4 or 5 win team. Like you said, I would agree with a lot of what you had to say,
Yeah, but Burbach, I think too a good thing that I've been hearing good things about Urban Meyer from the players and from the owner and all that. So I think Urban is that guy. I just think it's going to take about a year or 2 to kind of build this thing, and then it's going to take 1 or 2 years to get those guys in there, kind of develop them. So this is kind of like I think a 2 to 4 year type process. And I think too, if Trevor can keep improving and that roster can keep improving around him, I think this team can be successful in 3 to 4 years.
Yeah, I would agree with that because I just don't think this roster is very good in general. So whatever quarterback,
Yeah.
so
And we'll see Burbach too, because a quarterback can elevate a team. We've seen that before.
mhm.
So we'll see what Trevor Lawrence can do. Well, it'll be very interesting to see what happens.
You want to get into Zach Wilson? I don't,
Sure,
I don't
you
really
go
know how good
first.
he's going to be. I don't really know how good he's going to be, because the Jets kind of suck. I like Robert Saleh, but I mean, you just don't know. He's a defensive coach with a rookie quarterback. You saw Sam Darnold get drafted high too and struggle.
Yeah.
With is Zach Wilson even younger than what
I think so. Yeah, I
So
believe
I
so.
mean, and he's coming from a smaller school, going
Yeah.
to New York, the bright lights. There's a lot of pressure when you're the quarterback of the Jets. So, I mean, if he's good, I don't think it will be till towards the end of the year, when he's played a little while. But
Yeah.
throwing him into the fire right away, I liked getting to know, like, can he make those throws? Are you seeing good things to start? Which is why I also think Drew Lock should play over Teddy Bridgewater. But
Yeah, Burbach. I think Zach Wilson's an interesting player. I think obviously I agree with your point that if we see Zach Wilson play well, it'll be later on in the year when he's had snaps under his belt and kind of learned how to dissect NFL defenses, make the right reads. Because NFL game is a lot faster than the college game. You see it on tape. You see guys talk about it all the time. So I think there is going to be an adjustment period there. Another thing that kind of concerns me about Zach Wilson, Burbank, those other three quarterbacks we talked about, Mac Jones, Justin Fields, Trevor Lawrence, have all played in high stakes conference games, conference championship games, college football playoff games, college football national championship games. These guys have played under the bright lights. They know what it's kind of like, which makes kind of the move to the NFL a little bit easier because you've played in some of those higher tense environments and you're kind of used to it. Zach Wilson, obviously coming from BYU, he's played in some games that are kind of bright lights, but not at the same level as those other three guys. So that's where I could see Zach Wilson maybe struggle a little bit. But at the same time, I think Zach Wilson will be solid. I think this is kind of like the Trevor Lawrence situation. I don't think the Jets are ready to win for probably another 2 to 4 years, like the Jaguars. They need to build up that roster. I do agree with you, Burbach. I love Bob Saleh, Robert Saleh. But again, he's a defensive coach. How are they going to do offensively remains to be seen.
all right, Trey Lance, the last guy, who's a dog. Trey Lance, a dog. I don't know if they should start him right away because they still have Jimmy G. I feel like he's going to get playing time, though. I still feel like he's going to get playing time because if you've watched any of the 49ers preseason games, the read option ability that he has, like if I've saw like 4 or 5 plays or whatever where if he would have pulled and kept, he would have been in the end zone. Because
Right.
he had that whole defense shifted to the one side. I think he could be very good. He did have a hand injury today or something like that, so I still think Jimmy G is going to be the starter. Kyle Shanahan's kind of getting fed up about talking about who the starter is going to be. I'm pretty sure it's pretty obvious that it's going to be Jimmy G.
Yeah. Burbach, I think Jimmy G should start this whole season. I think some of the things you saw to Trey Lance were promising in the preseason, but I would give him a year sit behind Garoppolo, kind of learn
He's
and
very
understand.
young still, too.
Yeah, learn and understand the NFL. And again, Trey Lance is a guy that comes from North Dakota State, a smaller school. I think he'd benefit a year sitting behind Jimmy Garoppolo, learning from him, learning from Kyle Shanahan, all the above. I think will just help his career even more. I do agree with you. I think he'll get some playing time, but Garoppolo will be the primary starter this year. And it's not like Jimmy G hasn't been good as a starter. He's 24-8. led a team to the Super Bowl, and obviously he's won some games in this league. So I think Jimmy G's their quarterback. He's their guy. But I think Trey Lance has potential to be very successful. I just think he'd benefit the most out of these guys from sitting behind the ear. He's the guy I think that could benefit the most.
I think I'm most excited for Trey Lance to see what he is with Kyle Shanahan. I'm him and Justin Fields, but I think Trey Lance with Kyle Shanahan, that's just like a different kind of quarterback that Kyle Shanahan really hasn't had in the NFL. And I think it could be elite.
It could. But I think there's a little bit of unknown with Trey Lance as well. So we'll obviously have to kind of wait and see on that. Burbach, little quick episode tonight, talking a little bit about the rookie quarterbacks. Make sure you guys are keep making every moment matter. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment down below what you guys want to see next, who you guys want to see, all that good stuff. Make sure to check out our recent videos. That'll be linked down below. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Me and Burbach talking a little bit about the NFL rookie quarterbacks and how they're going to do this year.